Don't take so long to pierce the night's veil, and the birds only have a dirge to sing. Another empty morning with a black-eyed tail and dark portents of what the dusk will bring. Sunlight tendrils glide through the broken blinds, slaying shadows in a motel room. Try to stroke warmth onto a mascara-rivered face as if to apologize for having to leave so soon. Juliette stares unblinking at the ceiling. She knows the day's just midnight's calling card. She's gone past thinking and she's trying to forget feeling. These days those things show her scant regard. Tommy comes in whistling from the shower, throws her clothes into her face and finger clicks. Come on, get dressed, check out times in an hour, and I ain't paying extra 'cause you've been sick. Through her unswollen eyes she gazes at him. The boy she loved become a man she hates. Endings never match the way the story begins, and her burnt out soul holds a pain that never abates. She lifts her head and winces as she does so. Her cheek is swollen, dried blood blocks her nose. Tommy said no limits and they laughed, let's go. He counts the cash as she loses count of the blows. "17 seems 1,000 years ago. Happiness feels like a myth that does not exist. Around each soft-scented rose, choking weeds do grow, and the first step to damnation is oft a kiss. Tommy was a small-town boy, made good. He came home with a car, the cash, the look. Flashing pearl-white smiles around the neighborhood. How he came by it all stayed a closed book. All the girls vied for his attention. They toss their hair and drop unsubtle hints. Juliette was shy in each way you could mention, and had innocence the devil's eye seldom squints. Tommy's snake-old tongue dripped his charm. Flattery and persuasion in equal measure. If you really loved me, was his means to disarm. What better way to plunder sacred treasure? I've got to head back to the city, he said. There's nothing in this town to tie me down. Non-entities and people who are the walking dead. It's been fun, but I guess I'll see you around. first time tears fell from her sapphire eyes, the first drops that would become a stagnant lake. Smiling at the sight, Tommy knew he had his prize. He grinned, oh, here's an opportunity to take. His mouth painted pictures in multicolored venom. Come with me, please, I can't bear to leave you behind. The love-struck have no shield to defend them from manipulators planting seeds in their minds. They pulled away in Tommy's car that evening, her golden mane flowing in the breeze. A brief note to her mother saying, I'm leaving. I'll be safe with Tommy, so put your mind at ease. I promise I'll write you when we're settled. I'm sure I'll have lots of exciting things to say. Each night she reads that note, now worn and crumpled. She hasn't heard a word from her daughter to this day. Tommy's panache did not match his dwelling. A one-room cold water place down by the docks. It's only temporary, he keep on telling. We'll soon have a place that doesn't need so many locks. She'd lie in his arms and sigh adoringly. I feel so safe, secure, and happy with you. I know you'll always be there to care for me. Being with you is a dream come true. He would never tell her what he did for money. Each time it arose, the subject would get changed. But slowly, as the weeks passed, she started to see something on the balance sheet looked strange. Some days his wallet would stay empty. She got used to going sometimes without food. Then Tommy would go out at midnight and come home with plenty. But now there was a mask on his mood. He used to make love to her with warmth and tenderness. He taught her to be too adventurous and free. More and more often now, it seemed he could not care less, and he'd get angry when she'd ask, "Is it me?" His phone was always piercingly sleeping. He'd rise, get dressed, and leave without a word. She wondered what secret he was keeping. Coming home agitated and disturbed. One day she saw two men drive his car away. She asked him why, in surprise. His mouth stayed silent, but his fists had plenty to say. That was the first of her black eyes. The next day came a claim of repentance. Same old sentences I'd always spring forth. I'm tired, uptight, I've made some bad investments. I'm thinking we should try our luck up north. She said I'll try to be more understanding, taking her blame that was not hers to bear. When you fall in love, you don't see where you're landing, she said. All your problems are mine to share. She never saw then the malevolent gleam that spread across his demon countenance. A lifetime from now, she'll recall that it seemed to be the moment he dropped all the pretense. Things were keeping on getting tighter. The TV went and the rent was overdue. When she went to the corner shop, her fingers were getting lighter. Steal or starve, which would you do? Wake up, sleepyhead, she heard him whisper. Have you forgotten you're 18 today? These are for you, he said and kissed her. Flowers, perfume, and some high-rise lingerie. She threw her arms around him and hugged him. I love you, Tommy, always and forever. I'm glad you said that, my darling. There's something I want us to do together. He passed her the gift bag and said, put these on for me. She blushed as she viewed the boudoir apparel. When she was dressed, he said, now pose provocatively. I bought a camera as well. Oh, Tommy, no, I couldn't. I'm too embarrassed to do that. I thought you loved me, he responded. The words hit her harder than a slap. Anything for you, she said hesitantly, and curled herself on the bed. He barked, I've been waiting here patiently. Now prove to me you mean what you said. He told her how to position herself as the camera clicked incessantly. After capturing her from all angles, he said, I want something else. Expose your inner secrets for me. She wanted to refuse, but she did not dare. He smiled and said, show me what you've got. More than her emotions were being laid bare. Still she glowed with pride when he groaned, you're so hot. She glided seductively in satin and lace to the delight of her lens-eyed paramour. She said, please, darling, Don't show my face. One look told her the request was ignored. Don't worry, Angel, these will stay private. I just wanted to document how beautiful you are. Undressing, he said, now let me prove it. You're the best thing in my life by far. 2 weeks later, Tommy's pretty flush, the bills are paid, and he's got a new set of wheels. Juliette asked him, puzzled, where did you get this cash? He shrugged, I got lucky on some business deals. That reminds me, I hope you like this. He passes her a bracelet inscribed, I love Juliette. She gasps, it's beautiful, and slips it on her wrist. So are you, he says, and don't you ever forget. The good times seem to be getting better. They moved to a new apartment paying 2 months in advance. Tommy brings some new friends around who act like they've already met her. She hears one saying something about a school dance. The next night Tommy says, I'm feeling spicy. From a bag he produces a student's uniform. He says, put this on and entice me. Loads a camera and orders, show me where it's warm. Things start to settle into a routine. Tommy gets more distant even when he's home. Some nights he walks in wild and then he gets real mean. Her teenage dreams are starting to corrode. One Sunday morning she goes for a walk, 2 women pass her and she thinks she hears her name. She says, do I know you? I thought I heard you talk. One hisses, have you got no sense of shame? Juliette walks away uncomprehending. Arrives home early and catches Tommy by the bins. In his guilty hands are letters home she thought he was sending. Naivety falls and reality begins. I know your mother hates me, he stammers, and I thought she'd try to come between us. Juliette can't hear him. All that matters is that she's surrounded by the shards of shattered trust. She thinks long and hard about leaving, but he deals his aces, charm and remorse. By the time he's finished, even she's believing she's the one who steered their love off course. 1 month on and things have gone awry. Tommy's luck seems to have slid downhill. She hears him on the phone saying the powder has run dry and I can't pay what I owe with a packet of pills. His voice descends into a murmur. It's hard to hear, to make out what he's saying. Something about a good little learner and a fast learner, or she better start praying. She feigns sleep when he returns. It's no longer the only thing she feigns in their bed. No one to turn to confide her concerns. She decides to forget what was said. Tommy is up and about early. Brings her breakfast in bed as a treat. He says, my perfect darling, you complete me. Don't fret about things, we'll soon be back on our feet. By the way, I've got to make a business trip. I meant to say, but it slipped my mind. Why don't you come too, now that I think of it? We'll make a holiday break of it this time. That would be wonderful, she exclaims. Some time away with you would be bliss. I'm sure we'll benefit from a scenery change. Oh, how much I'm looking forward to this. She hums happily as she packs. What should I take? How long will we be gone? She barely notices that he only mumbles back. She calls, I'm nearly ready, I'm just putting my best dress on. The first surprise is that they don't drive far, an hour away to a motel, 10 miles from town. She waits in the lobby while Tommy parks the car, while the old lady behind the desk looks her up and down. Tommy pays with cash and takes the key. You're in room 33B, Mr. and Mrs. Jones. Tommy, why the false names? Why the mystery? Shut up, he snaps, and she's worried by his tone. The room, like the motel, has gone past its prime. They might change the linen, but not the air. He glances at his watch and tuts at the time, takes her bag and puts it behind a broken chair. Tommy, she says, her voice quivering, what kind of business deal could you possibly do here? She notices she started involuntarily shivering. He says, let's make one thing clear. You just do what you are told, and everything will be fine. In some ways, it's a shame that you're now 18 years old. The market's for fresh fruit on the vine. He pulls a tripod from his case and mutters, "Thank God I brought a ring light with me." A puzzled look sweeps across Juliette's face. "Tommy, surely you don't mean to film our intimacy?" Before he can answer, there's a knock at the door. "Who is it?" Film crew comes, a sneered reply. 3 men walk in. "I thought there were 4 at Lisa's way. No one has to wait outside." Tommy turns to Juliette, who's shaken. "Honey, it's time to tell you the score. You know all those photographs we've been taking? Well, I want you to meet some fans of yours. You've got lots of admirers who pay well to see you cute and alluring. But I've got a greedy nose and I owe big to some bad mothers, and a photo ain't as profitable as the real thing." She sits in shock as a horror sinks in. Tommy, please, don't do this to me." He laughs. "You're on the clock, so let the show begin." They close in, drooling with lascivious glee. I said get dressed, Tommy screams in her ear, snapping her back to the present moment. She's still shaking from pain, disgust from fear. 6 brutal hours so slow went. She picks what's left of her dress from the floor, and a blouse, not the only thing of hers, torn in two. Tommy's on the phone saying, I need to score, I've got $3,000 to pay, some of what I owe to you. And I've got a great film to barter. Once you've seen it, I'm sure you'll clear my debt. And don't worry, this is just for starters. Take it from me, she ain't seen nothing yet. You're gonna be a big star, Juliette.